Hello everybody and welcome to another vlog from me, Matt Goddard at the Boxing Locker. I appreciate you all tuning in. So today we are going to talk about the highly anticipated, much awaited rematch between Anthony Joshua and now unified champion and former undisputed cruiserweight champion Oleksandr Usyk. In the first fight we had a Usyk win by unanimous decision. We saw flashes of AJ having bits of success, but progressively as the fight moved forward, Usyk got more and more in control, utilizing his movement, distance control, hand control, and awareness of space and time to essentially dominate AJ. And it looked towards the end of the fight as if we may, for a second there, have a little stoppage. But AJ made it through, unanimous decision lost. We have the rematch, and now we need to discuss what's going to happen in this fight. So, My point of view is probably similar to what you've seen a lot of boxing experts say. And I actually saw Lennox Lewis discuss something similar the other day in an interview, and that is that AJ needs to physically dominate Usyk. That does not mean get wild, overly aggressive, and basically waste energy and time. What that means is be informed about his aggression, throw punches in bunches, and essentially apply and exert his physical self upon Usyk in order to dominate from round one onwards, okay? What we don't want is AJ to just go in, whirling away, throwing punches, and get picked off at will. Usyk will control him with his movement and land the jab and open him up for bigger shots that could potentially get him set up to be knocked down or knocked out. As we saw with the Ruiz first fight, he is very vulnerable when he's opening up. He's far more dangerous when he's controlled and picking his punches in smart, informed combinations, which is what I hope to see this time round. I think from the beginning, he should be aiming to punch arms, punch hips, punch the back of the head, punch the shoulders, just land shots with heavy power. Don't aim everything to be perfect. Aim everything to be hard and damaging, and be so physically dominating and aggressive that Usyk finds it difficult to box as purely as smoothly as he is capable of doing. Okay. The other thing is working in close, learning to control hand position smarter, learning to adapt position to prevent Usyk from gaining the positional advantage. That's something that we've seen little snippets of him working on, little bits of wrestling, little bits of footwork, that hopefully he's able to enact in this fight. I think that's important. And also using his weight and size so that he's not getting pushed around, okay? Usyk boxed incredibly well last time to counter over the top of AJ's orthodox jab, using his right, and to get outside the orthodox jab away from AJ's right hand. Perhaps now what we need to see from AJ is to aim at the chest, okay? What we see a lot of guys do is headhunt. When you headhunt all the time, it's easy to know what height you've got to slip at and move. It's easy to evade them shots. If you aim for chin or below, all your shots down here, you've got to get a lot lower to get out of the way of those. And as a result, you can find shots and land shots that wouldn't necessarily be there. You can prevent the opponent from changing head height. You can force them to use blocks, guard, and footwork. And that can give you the momentum and the impetus to be in control of position, situation, and intent. The other thing is don't neglect the body, all right? Usyk is a much smaller man. If AJ can get himself down to find some of them body shots, he can really make an impact with them punches, and hopefully slow Usyk this time around rather than what happened in the other fight. Now, on to Oleksandr Usyk, who I personally feel is going to win this rematch irrelevant. I think he's got everything it takes to cope with everything that AJ has to offer, even with a stylistic change. Nonetheless, I think AJ needs to enact them changes, because if he just goes out and repeats what he did last time, he's sure to lose, and probably lose in far worse fashion than the previous fight. For me, Usyk this time will be more understanding of what AJ is capable of. He'll be more capable of dominating the space in between them, and he'll know what's going to come at him when he throws certain punches. He will have studied the footage back, studied the film back, and he'll be training to beat that man and beat anything he has to offer. Usyk is growing at the weight. He's becoming more and more competent as a heavyweight. We've seen that in his progression through his, I believe, only 3 fights at heavyweight, and he's already a unified world champion. I think we saw with the Chisora fight that he is susceptible to letting the weight of a heavyweight be an issue for him, but he still won the fight handily. And I think if AJ is capable of doing that, then it'll be a harder night's work for him. But he'll just bring the footwork into play. He'll utilize the footwork. He spent his whole career boxing very big men when he was in the amateurs, and he will be perfectly fine dealing with the size if he needs to. I think what's important for him this time round is actually knowing that he can sit down on a few of his shots once he gets within range. Once he makes AJ miss, AJ was getting very defensive and I don't want to say panicking, but losing his cool in the same way that he did in the first Ruiz fight, and also in the same way that he did in the second Ruiz fight, where he was just trying to pot shot and then essentially run so as not to take any risks. And I think that was the case in the first fight as well. I think very much psychologically he's got that sat in his head, and he's concerned about being hit with big shots. And I think if Usyk sits down on a few more punches, then perhaps he can get him out of there even earlier. So there we have it, guys. That's my breakdown of the fight. For result, I'm going to go for Usyk late stoppage, rounds 9 to 12. Stoppage or KO, TKO, KO or stoppage. And I think we're going to see a great fight. I think whatever happens, Joshua's going to come out better in the same way that Wilder improved slightly in every Fury fight. I think we're going to see the same thing from Anthony Joshua this time around. I think he's going to get better. He's going to look better. He's going to be more physically domineering. I just don't think it's going to be enough to beat Usyk. And I think eventually we're going to see that Usyk versus Fury for all the belts, all the marbles. And that's what we all really want. Thank you for tuning in. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Head over and check out my website, www.theboxinglocker.com, and subscribe to the website to access over 150 elite level world-class coaching videos. On there, you can get everything you need to learn boxing from the ground up, basic skills, elite skills. There's everything you need. You can subscribe today using the code 50 and then OFF, capital OFF, and you can have your first month subscription for half price. That will only be $9.99 or £10, something like that. It's $19.99 a month. After the first month that you've had half price, you can easily cancel it if you're not getting enough out of the website. But I promise you, the content is insane. There is so much value on there. So head over and subscribe. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's going to be more and more content coming. I appreciate you taking time to watch the video. Let me know in the comments what you thought, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Take care.